Hey everybody, we are back in the living room, and this is the voice of Mike Fly.
And this is Alice Moran.
Can you speak up a bit, please?
Oh, this is Alice Moran.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. She's the writer of this episode.
And I'm Steph, Kaliner, and we've met before in other commentary videos.
And I'm Simon. I'm a guy in this room.
We did it! Yay! This is episode 4, The Doctor versus Valerie.
Running feet. I'm just going to narrate the whole image by image. She passes left to right.
Ooh. This is fun. So this Dalek, the Dalek Dreadnought, was donated to us by the good people of the Doctor Who Society of Canada.
Oh, it's so great.
Isn't it?
It's everything I've ever wanted my life to be.
And the costume that Val's wearing, we actually made it for her to wear to a Comic-Con, and then we were happy that we got to get more use out of it for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite teasers, too, because I think it really feels like you're watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, it really looks like it.
Yeah, the music, TARDIS on the car.
I love how he has every, different things from every Doctor.
See, look at the car. Look at the license plate. TARDIS. I love it.
Awesome.
Oh my god, but the Doctor has everything.
Yeah, he's a multi-doc.
I love it.
And this music is really good. Who did this sound alike?
I want to say this was Waylon as well. I could be wrong, but I believe it was. And those are your feet under the covers.
That's me going down on Hannah. Not for real. I was just kind of just laughing and moving up and down under there.
Yeah, that's more or less how that goes generally.
I've never done it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Now, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You go up and down and you laugh a lot.
Oh,
Mostly
cool.
giggling, yeah.
You just kind of breathe on it, right?
Yeah, that's why it's called a blowjob.
Yay! Have any of you ever had your mother call you when you're in the middle of some type of sensual adventure?
You bet.
I answered the phone once, and it was like sick kids. And
Oh, brother.
I don't know why I did it, but then I didn't know what to do.
Oh, yeah. That's
Did you end up donating?
No, it was just them being like, we just wanted to call to confirm your sponsorship, and I was like, yeah, yeah, totally, just awful.
Here is my credit card number. Yeah, very fun.
When sick kids called me, I just tried to keep them on the phone. Yeah? How much sponsorship do you want?
Oh, no.
Nice.
This commentary has taken a dive.
I'm so sorry.
Right off the top.
This is me. This is my influence.
Nice.
Oh, I gotta say, that last shot where she was, it was a shot where she's upside down?
Yeah, we actually shot it upside down and then reversed it. So
Jason Bourke
yes.
is responsible for that solution, and I'm so happy because I love when a movie will do something just to get it done, like pull the bed out from the wall and just turn it upside down so you get the shot you want.
Yeah, it's very smart. And that's my favorite transition, too, in the show, is from the sound of the sonic screwdriver as Val's using it to pleasure herself into the egg beaters in the bowl of pancakes.
From masturbation to flapjacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Julia Lakowitz. Now, let's just say this. Lyra knows how to dress up for a date.
Yeah,
She does
Pearls?
really great.
Yeah.
it does.
Got a little flower in her hair.
Fun.
And that's my t-shirt hanging on my lamp.
I love it. That's how Guy made his house sexy, by throwing a red t-shirt over a lamp. Yeah.
Oh, those walls are so yellow.
Yeah, that's our kitchen, and it is very yellow. The whole house is the same yellow, but because this is morning and we lit this so brightly, that yellow has no option but to basically scream in your face the whole...
It is truly mustard.
I like this hacky sax line.
Yeah. I think we spent like a good 20 minutes talking about like what would be the worst way to describe boobs. I remember that conversation.
Too round.
And Rob Norman
hard.
kept saying things, and then we'd all be like, that's awful. And he's like, I don't think it's that bad. I feel like I've said it to people before.
Never ask Rob Norman about your boobs.
I don't. I
Turns
really
out.
would rather not.
This is our first crossover moment where we have a crossover between Versus Valerie and Val's vlogs, Sexy Nerd Girl, on YouTube.
Totally. You can watch the whole vlog on Sexy Nerd Girl. Like, you can actually see the entirety of it, which you don't see here. But also, this shot coming up here is the first time you actually see Val's setup, her vlogging setup, which isn't all that exciting. It's a camera in a closet with a light, but, pretty cool.
Yeah, it shows you beyond the edges of the frame of Sexy Nerd Girl. That sounded really pompous, didn't it?
And it shows you, there's another example of how we set deck for a girl's room. Put a scarf on on, over there on some shelves. And then you see more of Mike's room in this, too.
Yes.
See the side where you have your fancy alcohol collection.
I like good scotch, and I cannot lie.
I love that. I love scotch, guys.
Well, we should be drinking scotch right now.
Why am I
Drunk
drinking this
commentary would be
cola?
the best commentary.
Hey, that sexy nerd girl poster. Where'd that come from?
That's Pia Guerra did that as art for us, and we loved it and made it big.
Yes, that was originally taken from a photo from that photo shoot we
Yes.
did early on.
Yeah.
So it was Pia Guerra making a drawing based on a photo by David Lace.
And this is Rereading, which is Val's workplace, which is an actual place in Toronto, which is really cool that Christopher allows us to shoot there.
Here comes Peter.
This is my
There's Peter
favorite
Hatch.
thing
Look at that
that
hair.
I got to write.
What's that? Oh, the
Weeping Angels.
The Angels? Yeah, but with Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm so happy it came true.
Yeah. Because I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a real
Oh,
thing
when we
to
were
do.
shooting that was so funny. Some people would just stop and stare. Some people would just not even notice that he's even there.
Yeah, and because we actually crossed, you can't really tell, but like we actually put him in 3 different places in the street, which is a live street of traffic, and there was several times that police officers drove by, and we were like, we're going to get shut down for sure. They didn't.
Nope.
So,
Just another day in Toronto.
Just casual Elvises everywhere.
Yeah, and that's Silver Elvis, Peter Jarvis, and he actually busks in the city all the time. He's like a kind of a fixture in the busker community here. And this, of course, is Mark Muir, who doesn't believe his jaw's chiseled. I think it's fairly chiseled.
Yeah, he's very, like, I remember being like, what are the things I would use to describe Mark Muir? But don't tell him that. Oh!
Freddie?
My heart just
listen
got
to this,
excited
you know.
for Freddie.
Freddie did a great job with this part. When you wrote that monologue for Freddie that comes up later.
Yeah, Freddie gets a
I
monologue.
lulled every time I read it. I was laughing from reading it on the page. Every time I get to that word myself, I'm like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah, I really like background characters having, like, intense personal dramas that we're never gonna find out about again.
I also love, too, the fact that, like, his wardrobe definitely screams, this is obviously the criminal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Not only is he the only other person in the bookstore.
He's got a duffel bag held low.
Because he's the master.
got
Calm down.
flaming head dress.
You can't see what his t-shirt says, but I found it at Value Village, and I think it says "Smell my finger."
Okay, by the way, this is me just writing about how much I loved the Hunger Games for like a solid 2 minutes. I think all of the things I write are just a series of references, but with very little jokes to string them together.
Do you actually like the Hunger Games?
I love the Hunger Games.
When did you first read it?
When did they come out? 2008? When the first one
How
came
old
out?
were you?
I would have, too old to be reading it. I would have been
Oh, man.
Oh, really?
Okay, so it was given to me by a buddy who was like, you got to read this book called Hunger Games. It's awesome. And he's like a 37-year-old man.
Right.
So I get it, and I'm reading it, and I was on an airplane flying back to, like, whatever, Regina for Christmas. And I remember I got out, as we were leaving the plane, I realized, I left it in the seat back afterwards. So I asked, like, hey, kid, can you grab my book and toss it up to me? And he pulls it out, and he's like a 12-year-old kid, and he's like, The Hunger Games, I love this book, man. And throws it to me, and I was like, oh no, I've just fallen for awesome teen lit fiction. I still went and read the other 2 books.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
You gotta know how these characters turn out.
These effects are Davin Langell, which is lots of fun.
This chase scene was so much fun to edit.
Yeah, and that was Nick. He put that little speed line behind Val as she ran.
The blur, yeah.
Yeah, and this was the
Famous spit take.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is the grossest.
Yeah, we got it in the first take, but we made Hannah do it 4 more times just because, frankly.
That's not true.
No.
When you wrote it, did you think that they would actually shoot this with Hannah getting
I don't
spit
think
in?
I wrote that he spit into his mouth. I think somebody added that. I feel like that was someone else's addition.
I
That
think that might have been me.
somebody added
what?
because I remember being like, "That's so gross," but I'm okay with it
Yeah.
because
And
I
then-
had it like something like punching her in the face or something violent.
No,
Yeah.
the reason we shot 4 times is the first 3 times he spit on her face.
Yeah.
Well,
He didn't get it in the mouth, and we gotta reshoot that.
Yeah. And this was her actually spitting on the sidewalk like a crazy person. So that was fun to shoot several times from across the street.
Okay, guys, this is my favorite
Yeah,
ever.
this is awesome. I love this. I love this monologue.
Oh my god.
What does his shirt say again? Oh my,
Smell my finger.
Or said something about smell, or like, what's that smell, or something with smell.
Oh god.
I like that he's stealing books, but he has a checking account that can cover all the cumulative total of how many books he's stolen.
I think he's probably a little.
I have so many like stories as to why his dad was never around in my head. Is that weird? Can we just spin this off?
We just go to his character now. We just
like what? Where would he be now? Where would he be today?
I feel like he's teaching inner city kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. At the YMCA, teaching them how to like.
He's teaching them improv.
Yeah,
For sure.
How not to steal books. It's okay if you steal books in an improv because it's improv, but don't do it in real life, guys.
He looks like a role model, doesn't he? He looks like he could really be like changing lives.
Favorite part?
Myself.
I love the way he does it. He's so dead on the inside.
Great.
Yeah, and I also love the idea that we were like, we didn't realize how much Hannah would have in her hands
Oh yeah.
as he leaves
That's
until we
what I
actually got to that
remember.
moment. We're like, oh, he's got so much stuff to give her. How do we even do this? I mean, it took so much choreography just to figure out what she puts down.
Yeah, what
when.
order he hands it to her,
Yeah.
what hand it goes in.
Something so
That's
simple
my
and yet so
favorite
dumb.
part.
Yeah, that's great. That's the best. I love the change of music.
Yeah, he went and taught that guy improv. That's what they went.
That's right, exactly.
And the guy that he was helping was Kevin Miles Wilson, who also did the music for the end of episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all
It's
comes
great
together.
music. Great music.
Trivia.
And this is fun. I like
romantic.
this is a classic selfie shot where Mark is shooting himself, but of course he's a little out of focus. That was surely intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah, and definitely not completely unintentional.
I think it was the best take.
Yeah.
Is the one I chose. I said, it doesn't matter if he's out of focus.
Oh, I know. It just makes him look real.
Right.
It's like he's
That's why I
not
did it.
perfect. He's mostly perfect. But
And I love the moment at the end too, where she's like, I think I found someone.
Mhm.
It's a nice moment.
Did your heart flutter when you were writing that monologue of his at the end?
honestly, I think my heart fluttered the most the first time you guys texted me a photo of the Dalek. I think that was like the most I ever was like, oh my god, really? We really get this? For real?
This year at Fan Expo 2, the Doctor Who Society of Canada broke a world record for the most assembled
They had
Daleks.
like 100, 150.
150.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
That's
the
amazing.
previous record was 98 from somewhere in England, and now Toronto, Canada holds it at 150.
It's so funny how scary they are.
They're,
The Daleks?
they're
Yeah.
actually pretty terrifying.
Yeah?
Until you
Because
open them up,
they-
and then they're these cute little slimy creatures.
Little gremlin guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're basically like a mobile tank. A very poorly designed tank.
Yeah, there's an egg beater.
And a plunger.
Yeah.
They're good. They're really good plumbers.
Yeah.
If I can bring back the plumbers thing.
Oh, maybe that was what we were trying to do with the egg beater. It's like the beater on a...
Yeah, that's what it's reference to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that actually, we talked about that so much.
Great, I love it. Good.
We talk about so many things when we
couldn't
make
get
these
past the
shows that we
innuendo.
totally forget.
I feel like, yeah,
Some of
I'm
the
sure
things.
that there are things, like, I know that I always write jokes that are, like, so specific that people are like, this wording doesn't matter, but I for sure lifted it from an episode, so it's, like, exactly lines from Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, we gotta
Wow.
come up with a system where there's asterisks or something.
like, this is a really nerdy thing I've written.
I like it.
Like, for season 2, we should do this thing where it's like whenever a writer is making a specific reference to something, it should be bolded or italicized. Sorry guys, this isn't for you. This is just for us.
Yeah, we're having a little mini production
Yeah, but
meeting
then,
here.
but then we can send it out for them with, like, pop-up video.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. Little annotations.
Yeah, just being like, were you aware this is a verbatim line from...
What was the mention of ravens at the beginning when she's on her phone with her mom? And she says, shh, ravens, and then hangs
Oh, I think
up?
I was probably reading Feast for Crows.
Right.
So it would just be, ravens would just be like...
Something from Feast of Crows.
Yes, no, because they always send a raven, dark wings, dark words.
Yeah.
So... I always think, I don't know. I know that when I wrote it, it was probably very specific.
And awesome.
How do they send good news then?
Well, they always,
Like
yeah.
doves.
People just assume that no one's ever going to send you good news in that world, because it's like...
No news. No news is good
No
news.
news is good news, that's why... But also, like, even if someone sent you good news, but it also would probably be checked with, but this person died of cholera.
Yeah.
True.
While
Well,
we're on the subject.
But at the meal, we had this stuffed pheasant that was with gooseberry jelly, and there were
Yes.
these glazed carrots.
10
and Brussels
pages
sprouts.
of
Yeah.
description.
George R.R. Martin knows how to describe a feast.
Oh, if we do a George R.R. Martin episode, it's just gonna be so many shots of food, and I will be very insistent that, like, no, it has to be like a solid minute of filming.
If
food.
we do a Game of Thrones episode in season 2, there's going to be so many people fighting over who gets to write it.
Oh yes, I think Mark already tried to stake his claim on it.
Mark
Muir, and he was like, "Guys, I want to write for the show, and I want to write the Game of Thrones episode."
I'm actually stunned I didn't write the Harry Potter episode. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait a second.
Wait a second, why do I get stuck
What?
with Doctor Who?
No, I love Doctor Who, but I'm like, but if there's anything I'm nerdier for, it's for sure Harry Potter.
So is this one.
Yeah,
I love Harry Potter, and I wanted to jam stuff into that, like references into that. And I'm sure Galen, who wrote that episode, also loves Harry Potter. But
I heard he hates Harry Potter.
Word on the street.
He
It's
super
hard to fit references into that episode because it's such a serious one.
Well, it's
reality
versus
versus
Valerie,
Valerie,
right? So
Yeah.
you end up with that difficulty of like, how do you do fantasy stuff in an episode about reality?
But the teaser with the Dementor placated me.
Oh,
I like
so
that a lot.
fun.
With the map.
Yeah, if I'm not writing Game of Thrones, I don't know what I'll be writing. Guys,
Twilight.
We'll
I
figure
don't
it
know.
out.
I don't know.
Hubert.
I could write the Hunger Games.
Pac-Man.
I could write the Hunger Games.
Pac-Man.
I could write like old JRPGs if you want a Chrono Trigger episode about that.
How about The Sims? You do the Sims episode.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't know much about it.
I don't know either. Although I think I just saw somebody post something on Reddit that was like, oh, you can buy different like household items like lamps and sofa styles to like improve the mood of your Sims, and it's like, this is just straight up
Consumerism.
hawking consumerism
Yeah.
as a solution to life's problems.
Yeah.
I play it.
MMOs do the same thing when they offer a free to play. They'll give you free to play, and then but if you want all this cool stuff, you got to pay for it.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta buy a cool sword.
In The Sims, though, you have to maintain all your friendships, so you have to like call up your friends and make sure you talk to them enough. But then in the meantime, you're neglecting your own real life friends. That's
beautiful
my experience,
irony.
anyways.
Wow, this is the longest
Post credits
comment
discussion.
Oh, I'm
discussion.
so
Should we just
sorry,
play the
guys.
episode again? Why not?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
rewatch it.
All right, guys. We'll see you again, or not see you, but you'll hear us again for episode 5.